Hi, I'm Chris and welcome to this video on using AI to increase efficiency and reduce risk. This relates to Learning Objective 5, where we're considering artificial intelligence and automation technologies as an alternative to traditional employee outputs. Making an audit more efficient. So we know that auditors have to form opinions, make recommendations, design risk strategies. But one thing that they can't do so easily is access a lot of knowledge of similar audit situations. They could talk to a colleague in their office, they can look through past audits that they've conducted, but they don't really have a library. I think of it a little bit like a lawyer who has access to journals and enormous amounts of case law so that he or she can read that, similar situations, similar cases, to help them form their own arguments for their own case. Audits follow a fairly similar process, but of course, organisations differ in many different ways. So if you could, as an auditor, have access to other people's experience, that would be fantastic. And so Deloitte in the Netherlands created an AI tool called Guided Risk Assessment Personal Assistant, or let's call it GRAPPA. And basically what GRAPPA does is match current situation that an auditor is looking at with past situations, but a lot of them. It enables a person to go from the situation of looking at a couple of reports here to an AI tool being able to scan thousands of reports and then start to refine it. And that's what's so critical. Refine it and refine it, because you want to be able to find situations that are similar, that have similar inputs, therefore potentially similar outputs. If you can do that, then the auditor should not only reduce the time spent in that early stage, but have access to so much more information that they can make better audit recommendations. They'll have a better chance of success. It's important to remember that AI tools like GRAPPA are not really standalone applications, and they're not designed to completely replace the human. They're there to complement. They're there to actually take a lot of the grunt work out and allow an auditor to spend more time interpreting results and formulating actions rather than physically trying to find, similar audit cases and situations, or not being able to do that at all and having to feel, rely on their own experience, but also grope a little bit more in the dark if it's a new situation that they haven't come across before. GRAPPA also links to other AI tools. One of them is called Deloitte's Smart Chatbot. I don't think it has a specific name. They use it in their online technical library. And this is an enormous library with heaps of specific information for their employees. But even Deloitte have reflected that after doing lots of tags against all pieces of content in there, having what they thought was a reasonably good search function, people were struggling to get good search results. So the point of the Smart Chatbot is it will ask users questions. By doing that and getting a response, it's running an algorithm. It's creating a better search function out of that. And of course, it receives feedback on the quality of the search results by what people click and then use. And so it's able to iterate like any good AI tool. It needs to be able to iterate, modify its algorithm to improve its outputs. So, in summary, every day, more organizations are justifying the use of AI because they see direct benefits to the bottom line for their business. In this situation that we've just discussed, AI tools can significantly reduce search and analysis time, right? By taking past historical data and then matching it to a current situation to try and help form a future decision, right? And that's what we want to do. Use AI to make better decisions, but also take out some of their grunt work and replace traditional employee outputs. And it's important to note too that GRAPPA was created for this by Deloitte in the Netherlands, but now they're trying to implement algorithms to predict future risks, which is a natural iteration of the product, of the tool. So if we think about things like high-risk derivatives, ballooning debt, mortgage crises, aspects like this, macro environmental impacts, by making them inputs into the tool and moving it towards perhaps more unsupervised learning, maybe neural network type analysis, then we're looking to predict future events. So the ability for Deloitte to look at a particular organization in a particular country, in a particular industry, and actually already be able to predict to a certain level of accuracy the likely risks that are going to occur before the audit's even started. That's where AI will be able to take us fairly soon, which is a significant leap forward from the way that we operate audits now.